Greetings, my name is Joseph Winberry. Thank you for taking the time to check out my poster. This poster is all about my experience working on a service learning project during my time in the PhD program at the University of Tennessee. I think that this is a kind of a useful roadmap for other people who might be interested in doing a service learning project. And this is all based on my experience as well as some other data that I've collected. So I have a limited amount of time, as many of you who also are presenting understand. So I'm not going to go into every detail of this poster and walk you through it line by line. There's just not the time. But a couple of things that I would like to point out to you. The first are the definitions here on the left-hand side. My title is very jargony, and that's actually on purpose, believe it or not. And I like to give people more opportunities to kind of read through what it is I'm exactly talking about and what are the details of that. So I encourage you to look at those definitions if that all interests you. In the middle here, I walk through the steps that I took of working through my service learning experience, as well as giving tips of what other people might do. So I talk through, uncovering a need, determining the feasibility of fulfilling or meeting that need, seizing an opportunity that can help you as you work on that need, and also bringing the partners together in order to meet whatever needs to get accomplished. Then there's also the executing aspect and the impacts that it has. What is the impact related to teaching? What is the impact related to the community? What is the impact related to the research? And very importantly, looking at evaluating your project as well as next steps. For you working with a community organization, or maybe the organization working by itself, the hope is in service learning project, you are leaving the organization that you're assisting, you're leaving them in better hands and better situation than when you first found them. So all of this entire project is about a mini grant that I received, the 2019 Alise Community Connect mini grant. And the whole purpose of this money is to create seed support for community impact projects. And I use that money to work with the local aging services organization in my community to help diversify the information that they provide to the community. Because in some of my past research, I found that the diversity among older adults is not always included in information. And I think as information justice and these topics are becoming more and more important in our field, I think it's really important to point that out and to talk about information representation and how people are represented in information as well as their needs. And I think that's something that there definitely needs to be more attention to in the field of information science. And I hope that different projects like these can help raise attention to the need of including more or doing research on more inclusive information practices. I also think that I hope that this roadmap that I've created here might be useful for students in particular who are wanting to work on a service learning project and have a passion for that, or maybe they don't have a passion for it, but they can see the benefit that is there for them, is there for the community, et cetera. And I think maybe they can grow a passion. But in my last minute here, I just want to talk really briefly about why I think all of this matters. We are an aging society, and unfortunately, in my view, the topic of older adults is not given enough attention within the information sciences currently. So I hope that by looking at this project, I hope that you will think about the needs of older people and the research teaching service that you do. And I hope that you will remember the point that successful aging starts with representation, in my view. And I think we all have to ask ourselves, how can we increase the profile of older people in the information sciences? Because over the next several decades, older people are going to continue to become a large part of the population, and they deserve our support and attention. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video and to look at my sources and my information. And I also just want to thank Alise for making this opportunity available to me. This is one of several projects that I'm creating out of this mini grant that's been both community impact as well as an impact for me as I work through my PhD program. So thank you very much for this grant, and thank you all for taking the time to come and visit my poster. And I hope that it'll inspire you to think about more about these issues, and I would be happy to talk with them further with you. Have a good rest of your conference.